Hello, everybody. This is Josh from the Chronicle Command, and thank you very much for tuning into this April update. It's a little bit early, but I have an important announcement to make, or a few actually. So basically, as of yesterday, it was my last day of full-time employment, and now I'm officially self-employed. Be it on my own will or just be it fate or destiny, I don't know which, but I have, and massive credit to my wife in giving her blessing in me being able to do this, and of course the support from people out there as well in the community who are supporting me by becoming a full-time miniature painter. And that means that I'm turning my hobby or my passions that I've been painting miniatures for over 30 years. And if people who don't know, when I was about 19 or 20, I ventured to England and with a couple of friends of mine in the hope of gaining employment with Games Workshop, which was my dream at that time. And I did land a job eventually at the Oxford Street Mall in their flagship store there, with Richard Gunson as my manager at that time, which you may remember from the Tale of Four Gamers, with his A Beautiful Bretonian Army. He was a really good painter, and I was in really good company there with those guys, and that sort of set me off on this massive adventure with Games Workshop, which eventually ended up me being a heavy metal painter for about, I think, 3 or 4 months. It's a bit hazy now as to exactly what timeline it was, but I think it was like 94 to 95 or in 95. It must have been like late 94 or early 95 that I had this amazing opportunity to land a position there, and was surrounded by some of the most talented people in the industry, certainly in relation to like gaming and that kind of thing. So, I've always had this, strong desire and strong will of becoming something, related in the hobby, and have been, forged my destiny, if you like, to land a position there, even though against all the odds I made it. And it was just this amazing experience. And of course I left, and now I really regretted leaving the heavy metal studio at that time, because I should have just kept going. And it was right at the end of 4th edition when the Wood Elf book was being done and the Chaos for 2nd edition. And I should have just kept on and found my way, and found better living conditions, or people to live with, or eat better, or whatever. I was very young, and I just didn't know how to survive on my own in a very, not in a foreign country, but, just in a place where I had no sort of support, that kind of thing. But anyhow, that's sort of venturing back into my past. And I just want to give you a sort of bit of a background picture to, where I've come from to get here, basically. And anyhow, so I've been painting for over 30 years, being passionate about painting and, playing games. Now, I haven't always been doing Warhammer. It's only been in the last 4 or 5 years that I've come back to doing all this stuff for the Games Workshop 90s games that I absolutely love playing, like 4th edition Fantasy, Epic Space Marine, and 2nd edition 40K. Those games, I just thought, well, I had the most fun playing those games at this time because of the rules, because of the miniatures, because of the great painting, and the influences I had at that time, early in my hobby career. And I wanted to come back and start this thing called the Chronicle Command podcast, and to share people's stories of when they first got into the hobby, how they got into it. Was it because they walked into the first Games Workshop store and was introduced that way, seeing the beautiful bright green, goblin green tables, and the goblins and high elves, from the 4th edition box set, and the red shirt staffer, got them in wiring and, and doing it that way. Or was it because of a friend, or was it because they found an advertisement in a catalog magazine or something like that? So I've had this amazing journey with you as part of the community at the Chronicle Command, to share those stories. Now we're coming almost to 3 years since that started. and I'm really overwhelmed at the that the community is growing, and the channel's growing slowly but surely. It's growing each week. New subscribers coming in, more people finding about the content, rekindling their interest in what they, how they started in the hobby. And let's be honest, I think Games Workshop started an entire generation of people like myself, and into the hobby, whether it be painting, playing games, and just getting in that way. So massive credit to the marketing strategy of Brian Ansell and the whole team behind there. Look at the artwork behind me. I mean, that if that doesn't grab you, I don't know what will. So yeah, it's been an amazing journey, and I wanted to thank all the people from the very start who chipped in with some comments and said, this is great. I'm really happy you're doing this, and long may it continue, and I hope it does. And as far as as of today, this is my full-time gig. This is it. I'm living my dream. Ever since I started envisioning things, everything started coming true, like coming to Japan, meeting my wife, having my son, living in my own house, working as a teacher, and all this kind of stuff. It's all come true. And this is another part of my dream. When I first started the Chronicle Command, what is its potential? Could I see myself being a creator, a video creator, painter full time? And now we're at this point where, yes, this is actually going to happen. It's happening now. And let's see how far we can grow this. And thanks again to the people who supported, reached out and said, "Hey, Josh, you're going to become a full-time painter. I would love to have, your original paint work on my models, and here's what I've got. Send me a quote, and we'll go from there," which has just been amazing. So. At this stage, we do have a number of orders, and I'm going to be having meetings and with people on Zoom today about their projects, and I'm really excited about starting those and having those people be able to play with miniatures I've painted. I mean, I've been doing commissions for like 10 years on and off, and picking up orders here and there, and for other stuff, historical, Infinity related, other fantasy games or whatever. And it's been a great partnership between myself and the clients I've been working for to realize their vision of what they wanted, and they're given them hours and hours of years and years of enjoyment playing those miniatures. So yeah, basically, this is just an announcement to say this is it. If you have ever wanted some models painted professionally, I'm a professional painter, and I treat this job as a profession. So, and I wanted to talk about the process. If you were thinking about this or entertaining the idea of getting something done, commission painted, basically contact me initially, either through my email address, thecrownofcommandpodcast@gmail.com. And then just get in touch with me with that way, or send me a personal message on Facebook or on the Discord. Get in touch with me that way. All the links for those will be in this video description. So head down to that, and you'll find the links to many other things like our Herohammer Fanzine, and of course our Patreon and that kind of thing, the Discord and that kind of stuff. So I wanted to talk about the initial steps of how we should go and approach that, and how I would approach it. So to this point, I've got a few quotes in already, and thank you to those people who've sent those to me. And it might be just one individual model. It could be a gang for Necromunda or Mordheim. It could be an entire 10,000 point high elf army, or whatever it might be. I look at that and say, okay, well, this is this will be the costing per model, and these are the reasons why. This is the expected time that I will start and finish the project. Now, most projects will be 1 month, So, or a week. It could be as short as a week. It could be a few days that I finish it, depending on the size of the order. But if it's like a 2,000 point army, realistically, 1 month turnaround, and then you get your miniatures back and you're ready to play with them. And if you want me to showcase them on the channel, which is another way to integrate your project and see it take place in a battle here at the Chronicle Command, that's the other way. And I've had people saying, yes, please, showcase my army on the channel, and hopefully don't play too badly with them. So we've got a Chaos Dwarf army on the way. We've got potentially a undead Dark Elf army on the way as painting projects. We've got Eldar Phoenix Lords. We've got loads of stuff, Tyrion as well, but I've already got a Tyrion, of course. But we've got great projects that are just all centralized on this kind of era of the hobby, which is fantastic. And it gives me a lot of joy to do those and to make other people happy in receiving these painted models in their hand. I wish I could do that, actually. It sounds like a really good idea. Maybe I will one day. I've had Paul paint some models for me. It's really nice to have some nicely painted models just arrive, and it's a really good feeling. So that's the plan. Now, in terms of videos, there'll be obviously a weekly update on maybe what's happening, or a game video, and I have more time to do that now. Initially, I'm sort of setting up the business, and once the orders start rolling in, I'll be working full time. So like 9 to 5, getting those done week by week, and then after that, in my free time, I'll be editing videos or creating videos and that kind of thing. So yeah, don't expect the videos to stop. It's quite opposite. It's going to be definitely more hobby updates and what I'm working on, and you get to see the projects from sort of start to finish. And I think people are sort of interested in that. I do want to try to do more painting videos as well, and just sort of setting up a proper rig and getting that all done and everything like that, and just so it's watchable. And I've talked to Garth at the 40K narrator, and I know he does a lot of live streaming, and we're sort of going to try to collaborate together and doing something like that, which would be awesome. So yeah, we're working towards that, and yeah, there'll be loads of content, guys. There'll be loads of content over the years. I've got a good 10 years plus in me, I think, to realize every battle report, every game system, every army, and the good thing about this sort of exchange of commission painting, you bring me armies that I don't have, and we get to play them on the channel, and people get to see another type of army on the tabletop. Which would be awesome. Things like War Master will probably be one of the games that we'll approach eventually. Necromunda is going to be another one for the future too. So yeah, we've got loads and loads and loads of stuff to do, and I'll be very, very busy. And thanks to the support of you guys out there, you're going to keep me employed as part of the Chronicle Command. And let's see the potential of this. Let's see where this goes. I would like to see in the future me taking this studio off into an actual proper place, like where we're renting. Me and my wife, we've got our own sort of ideas of where we want to take our own businesses, and I would like to give this room to my son eventually, because he's now 6 and entering elementary school here in Japan, and he's getting bigger and and he needs more space. So this room, was always my intention to give to my son, and to me to move out of here and go somewhere else. So yeah, that's ideally where I want to go, into a bigger place, bigger space. I can set up a proper permanent table. We're not sort of hunched in this room and sort of trying to squeeze past each other around a 6x4. Yeah, we've got a proper studio, proper lighting, proper audio, all that kind of stuff. I can visualize all that, getting a digital camera. But of course that involves finances, and we just got to make sure and just get the business up and running through painting commissions, and if there's exponential growth as the business continues, then I can think about doing that, and writing that off on tax because it's a company, and all that kind of stuff. So those things become possible. If it becomes really successful, then, I'm monetizing the YouTube channel, of course, and, that will alleviate a lot of stress in terms of financial income. And if it becomes wildly successful, wow, I could be going to Adepticon. I could be going to the Dutch Oldhammer event, interviewing people there, playing games and recording games. I could be going to the Oldhammer Poland event. I could be going to Bring Out Your Lead, and all these great events that people hold. And it won't be just for the Herohammer stuff. It could be for Confrontation. That's another passion project of mine at the Temple of the East. If you're not aware of that, please check out Temple of the East. It's another channel that I started up, and me and Paul are playing the hybrid board game, mission by mission, and eventually we'll bring Confrontation to there as well. So I'm sort of attacking it on both sides, and trying to grow this as a something that's got legs, and something it's going to support myself, and my wife can sleep well at night, knowing that we're not going to be kicked out of our home and default on our mortgage and that kind of thing. And I'm doing this for all the right reasons. I'm doing it because I love what I do. I love painting. I've done it my whole life, and I can't see myself stopping. And I love playing the games, and I think that comes through on the channel. And it's this is just me. It's not another persona as such. It's this is what you get. This is just who I am, and I think people appreciate that. So guys, if you would like to support the channel, support me as a creator and a miniature painter, and you have a project in mind that you would like to see realized at some point, painted by a professional painter, and go ahead with that, please let me know. It doesn't matter how small or how large a project is. I'll give you the best quote I can on it, and if all goes ahead and you want to send it to me, I'll get them back to you as quickly as I can. At this stage, if everything goes well, I look to be pretty much booked out for the first 4 or 5 months, maybe more, just depending on the armies that people will send me, and the projects that will send me over the next couple of weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. So if you're thinking about getting something done, get in there quick, because orders are filling in. I've got to sort of timeline that month by month, lock people in on a deposit on that, securing that month for me to do the work, and then they get their miniatures back in a timely fashion, and we get to play them on the channel, of course, before we send them back. And everyone's happy, everyone wins. So please help support me if you can't do it with the painting commissions, by sharing the videos, getting this out there to people to realize, hey, there is somebody dedicated to this kind of stuff. Support me on my other channels like the Temple of the East, and help that grow. And I'm supporting other creators like Kyle Gibson at Temple of the West with his company, with Confrontation Continuum, and other people who are doing it, out of their own garage. I want to support other people in their industries. That's a big part of what I've been doing right from the start, getting people more aware of other companies like Nightmare Games, for example, Diego in Spain, and what he's doing, and promoting his Kickstarters and that kind of thing. I think I will, you'll see more kind of info commercial type things happening on the Chronicle Command, which I will expect no payment for. It's basically just supporting them to say, hey, maybe you can offer a discount for, our community in some way down the track, or something like that, like 10% off or whatever. Like the War Colors paints, they're bringing out the nostalgia paint sets and that kind of thing. Maybe working with those guys, and offering some kind of discount for you guys as well in return. So promoting is a big part of the channel too. So if you're a company and you're looking at either getting commission work for your models, please get in touch as well. If you're looking at getting some promotional work done, we can talk about that as well, and see how that goes. But it's really exciting times. I'm fully, behind this. Thanks to my wife again for backing me on this one, because it's a pretty scary time. Because I've got one order here from Nick. Thanks, Nick, to do his Tzinch army, and I'm almost finished that. and I'll show you in a minute some video of what I'm up to in the studio. And but yeah, please start getting those emails in, start getting those inquiries in, start getting me really busy, and so we can support this and keep it going, guys. So thanks again to everybody. Like I said, from the people from the very start, I haven't forgotten about you. I'm still in contact with a lot of those guys in the community that have been there from the very start. Let's see what potential this has, and let's see it grow, and let's see, you know, this become a full-time thing in a studio with all the proper equipment and everything like that. We've got a much bigger space, and it's going to be more comfortable, and we'll have international guests, and we're also talking about sort of a Japan Warhammer or Games Day event in the future as well, where we will host international people coming to Japan and having tournaments and that kind of thing here, which would be awesome. So I can see big things for the future, guys. We've just got to take it step by step and sort of work towards those goals little by little. So, guys, I'll leave you there. Thanks again for listening to this massive ramble, but I thought it had to be shared, and I thank you again, and expect a lot more content coming soon. So until then, watch this brief video now to see what's been happening behind the scenes. Thanks again, guys. Okay, so just in a quick update on what's been happening here, what I've been working on. These are Nick's Chaos Tzinch warband models that he kindly sent to me to paint, and one Eldar Exarch. So it's been a lot of fun, especially the Eldar Exarch. I really enjoyed that a lot. Yeah, it was really fun to paint in this Iyanden color scheme. And actually, I started an Iyanden craft world way back in the 90s, and it just never got finished. I didn't have the models and only had a few bits and pieces, but yeah, enjoyed painting all that yellow and that kind of thing. So that's what I've been working on for him. Some kind of third-party resin disc Tzinch thing that he's got it on, and yeah, it's really cool. So thanks again, Nick, for that. Enjoyed painting this guy. His ear's missing a tail, so he's got a holy butt, but hopefully we can get a tail sorted out. I think Nick's got one in the mail coming from the UK, so we'll get that attached and painted on there, so it's going to be more complete. So that's what I've been working on there. On the table here, you've probably seen some of those ogres already. So I've been working on those, getting them painted and ready for, I hope, this coming Monday we're going to have a game, and I would like to get these finished in time so that I can actually play them in the game. I'm really looking forward to that, because I've really loved painting those guys so far, and just working on the standard bearer now. These are Nick's Flamers. I think they're 6th edition Flamers, these ones, which are pretty cool models, pretty dynamic looking. I chose a sort of a blue and green color scheme for these guys, and I might add some pink for the flames and that kind of stuff. Sort of just working on that now. So that's what's basically been happening on the paint table since last time we spoke. Yeah, so again, if you would like a quote or whatever, please check out the links below, or contact me at the Chronicle Command podcast at gmail.com to tell me about what you want painted or what you want a quote on painted, and we can go from there. Okay guys, so thanks again for watching, and see you again in the next video.